My name's Kaneana May and I'm an author. I've done several courses with the Australian Writers Centre over the years and they've definitely made me become a published author. Before I started doing courses, I was working in television production. I worked in the script departments of Headland, All Saints and Home and Away. I loved this and have always loved story. I then started a family and moved to regional New South Wales. I found the community wonderful but quite isolating for writing. I spent my time at home with kids, and then if anyone slept or was having some quiet time, I'd try and write things down. But it was hard to keep motivated and keep determined on that track of wanting to become published. The creative writing course really set me on the right path for getting the one where it needed to be. I had a few scenes that I thought were the start of the book, but after doing that course, I realised that happened much later in the story and I needed to come back and start way beforehand. So it kind of put me in the right place for the story. Additionally to that, I think it gave me just the motivation to keep going. I came away feeling really inspired and I knew that I wanted to complete it. I wanted to get my women's fiction book on the shelves. I'd been going to quite a few festivals where so many authors were saying how important it was to create an author platform. So I decided to take the plunge and enrolled in the Australian Writers Centre Build Your Author Platform course. It's about creating yourself an online presence. They were talking about getting a website going, having an account on Facebook or Instagram and even Twitter, and being able to connect with other writers, other authors, whether it's fans or people that have written books. I had an online presence for about 2 years before I got my book deal. So I had made connections. I knew what it was like to have to post on social media, how to use the kind of hashtags I should be using, what authors were writing the kinds of books that I wanted to write and wanted to connect with. And I felt that when I did get the publishing deal, I already had a lot of authors that knew of me and were really genuinely happy that I had broken through and gotten that first deal. The author platform has just made me part of a community, which is great when you live regionally. Through the course at the Australian Writers Centre, I discovered a great writing community. I came away with the motivation and inspiration to keep on going. I definitely recommend the Australian Writers Centre for any course. I think it's a brilliant place. I always listen to the podcast. It's always inspiring. I constantly want to do more courses. I think there's always more to learn. There's always places to be inspired and there's always connections to make. There's friendships. I've got some great friends out of doing courses and meeting them at festivals and reaching out to other authors. Definitely go for it. If it wasn't for the Australian Writers Centre, I don't think I'd be published today. They really pushed me in the right direction.